Let me welcome you very warmly on this very short presentation, given the size of the project, but we'll try to be quite synthetic about the assumptions on this textbook, especially when it comes to safety and security, because this is the main theme of the conference. Together with Eva, we are in this project since March, so it's almost 6 months. We've been operating within an advisory team which is preparing some assumptions to universities, among others, when preparing e-textbooks. So let us start with an introduction, what we do under this project, and then we'll move on to safety and security issues. Ladies and gentlemen, e-textbook project aims to change educational model when it comes to teaching both pupils and teachers. E-textbook will function not as a replacement to textbooks. It will be additional proposal to increase the attractiveness of the class. The pupils are using modern technologies, best evidenced by this conference and interventions of all the speakers. They use it for various purposes, and we should show them educational features, and an e-textbook will be a perfect tool for that. E-textbook project is one of the elements of a digital school. We have a pilot of this project. It is pertaining to all the stages of the education. As part of the project, we are going to devise 62 e-textbooks for 14 subject matters, just like early education, Polish language, history, geography, among others, mathematics, IT, and education for safety and security. So quite an ambitious scope. Apart from these basic textbooks, we will come up with more than 2,500 resources. We assume that 40% of teachers and pupils will use these tools. They will be adjusted to practically all the devices that are available on the market. So it will be available on tablets, on smartphones, on computers, various readers. What is very important and what is novel about it, they will be based on free licenses. They will be free of charge, and they will be available for all the willing parties. What is also novel is that it will be adjusted to the capability of pupils with special educational needs and handicaps. I think that you are very curious who is elaborating such e-textbooks. Just like my colleague said, a Center for Educational Development is a leader, and we are cooperating with our substantive partners, and the e-textbooks for early education is prepared by a team from Kielce. When it comes to math and IT, it is Łódź University of Technology. For arts, it's University of Wrocław. The technological partner is the Poznań Center for Networks and Supercomputers. I think that when it comes to the structure of e-textbook, my colleague will be the best person to brief you on that. Ladies and gentlemen, this project breeds many challenges when it comes to using them. Take a look at the multitude of devices that this textbook can be used at. It's very difficult to prepare technologically a very interesting material from which one can use comfortably when it comes to interfaces and layout. For example, when it comes to laptop, because we have various laptops, various tablets, We have various sizes of screens. We have various technical possibilities. When you take a look also at the class of the device, remember that a textbook will look like differently on a reader. It will have to be a static version. It will also be completely different when it comes to a tablet, which gives you a possibility to interact. And the needs of a teacher, which is the most important thing. E-textbook is made of 3 layers. The first layer is a repository. On the 1st of October, you will be able to see this platform. It will be launched with a few exemplary lessons of math in its first version. And in this repository, right now, you can already see various elements of this textbook. So graphics, illustrations, GeoGebra, which was presented, some exercise component, and all these components are prepared in a cool form, which enables one to use it at the level of interface, at the second layer, when developing a structure of a textbook for various devices. If you open such a textbook on a computer, on a tablet, you will always see a standardized layout, which is recommended by authors. But what is interesting, in 2015, we will have a tool available which is quite similar to Solaris. They have a similar tool, namely the tool to create your own content. What will it offer to a teacher? The teacher will have a possibility to customize his textbook using both the elements which are contained in repository and his own elements, and making it available to students. And finally, the third layer, the one to manage the contents and users. A very simple level which will enable you to work with a pupil using a textbook in the standardized version and in a customized version. If you take a look at the issue of safety and security, and the safety of the materials, this is a big challenge. So the authors, all the substantive partners, did away with publishing internal links. So all the elements which are in the repository are illustrations, films, some sound files, text. They are not downloaded from the network, but they are at the e-textbook platform, which means that students and pupils at various age level are not going to be susceptible or will not have to use the contents which are not prepared for them. But of course, teachers will be able to add various interesting links when creating their own scenarios for classes. After various studies and expertise, a decision was made. So external materials can be used outside of the repository. Only the safe content may be put inside the textbook. I'm running out of time, so let me speed up. What elements do we have? Interactive elements. Secondly, multimedia elements. Third, graphic elements. And we will not have a lot of text. Thinking about textbook, we are not thinking about PDF, about text. As an expert team, we are recommending solutions which are multimedia friendly, because as all the research show, the highest absorption rate in all age groups is when we work with interactive materials. And another important information, this textbook will be structured based on the theory of didactic space. We prepared a few layouts of textbook elements, so text, sound, graphic in various configurations as adjusted to the subject matter and content, as well as the level and the age group. We can have one interactive element, for example, a graph. And another very important information when it comes to the layout of contents, what are the layers? The multimedia textbook is not a scroll material or a PDF file. This is something which is put in layers. And thanks to these layers, a pupil can learn the most important elements, and he is developing most important skills. This is what is the assumption that we have when working not only with various elements, but also with layers. The context of all that, and I only have 3 more minutes. The age group, as my colleague said, a very wide age group will use this kind of e-textbook. This is also the specificity of the contents. When we are working with various partners under this project, we can see both various concepts and also various subject matter approaches. Also a group of devices that's very wide. For all the interactions, the textbooks should contain alternative texts. We also have various styles of learning. This is prepared both for those who prefer to listen material and those who prefer to read. And also it will have interactive materials. It is quite important, and as you realize, in every class we have a group of pupils who are at an average level, and we also have a group of pupils which are more gifted, and we will try to live up to their expectations and needs. And what is most important and most interesting for you before the October, how will it look like? A few examples of elements that I can show you. So this is how the platform will look like, from a laptop, from a computer, from a tablet, from a phone. These are the interfaces which soon can be used. In summary, as of now, the platform will be all open for everyone. So both teachers and pupils will not have to set up their logins only at the end of the project. The students and pupils will have such logins assigned. In the original period, we do not foresee the need for that, but in the future, such a login system will exist. So, I think I've run out of my time, so with that I would like to thank you for your attention and invite you to take a look at the platform at the beginning of October. And you can also ask me the questions also over the coffee break. Thank you.